Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Progress with a video, this is number 5, on checkmate in 2 moves. I'll show you a position and it's white to play and checkmate a black king on the second move. They are compositions. In this case the first one is from Harley and Watney. So it's white to play the key move. The first move we call that a key move, then it's black to answer, and then white to checkmate on the second move. And the key move can only be one move. There is only one solution. Let's look at this one. It's a joint composition by Harley and Watney and was published in 1921, a long time ago. White to play and checkmate the black king. Well, white is a queen up for 2 pawns and the black king is cornered, so it should not be too difficult to checkmate that black king. But there's only one way that it can be done in 2 moves. There's only one first move, one key move. And, well, you can try different things here. You can try queen f5 check, that looks like a very logical move. But then king h6, that's the only reply. And there's no checkmate on the next move. There's checkmate in 3 with queen g5 check, king h7, and queen g7 is checkmate. But that is in 3 moves, and we have to do it in 2. So let's go back. If you want to look for yourself, put the video on pause, I'll give the solution now. The only first move that leads to checkmate on the second move is queen h3 to c8. And now black is in zugzwang. If black was allowed not to make a move, then there would be no checkmate on the next move, but black has to play. Black only has 2 moves. He can play king h6, and then the queen comes through the back door. Queen h8 is checkmate. And the other move, if you play h3, that's the only other legal move you have, then, and that's why I really like this composition, the queen returns to where she came from. Queen back to h3, and now it is checkmate because the pawn on h4 is gone. Nice, easy, light composition, Harley and Watney, 1921. The second one is from a composer of the name of Hasberg, and it was published in 1945. White to play and checkmate the black king on the second move. Let's have a look again. White is again a queen up. This time there is also 2 rooks for each side. And again the black king is on the side of the board and does not have many squares. But there's only one solution for checkmate in 2. When I looked at this position I thought maybe queen g8 is a solution, but it is not, because there are several moves for black which prevent checkmate on the second move. In this position white is now threatening queen h7, checkmate, but with rook takes g7 for example, black can postpone the checkmate. White takes on g7 and now it will be checkmate on the next move, but that again is mate in 3 and not in 2. So queen g8 is not the key move. And it's a surprising key move, because the right move in this position, the only move that leads to mate in 2, is queen c8 to c2. A queen sacrifice, deflecting the rook on g2. If black takes the queen, then rook h7 is checkmate. The rook on g2 is gone, so this rook now controls the g-file. Very nice. And if after queen c2 you take, for example, the rook on g7, then queen takes h2 is checkmate. And again the king is caught by queen and rook. And finally, if after queen c2 you take the other rook, then again queen takes h2 is checkmate. Now this rook is controlling the g-file. Quite a surprising move, queen c2 and checkmate in all variations on the next move. The final composition is from Hermansson, published in 1930. Let's have a look at it. Again, white is a ton of material up. He has an extra queen and bishop. And the black king is cornered, this time on the queen side. But black has a threat. We have to checkmate in 2 moves, and we have to be careful that black cannot give a check. Rook e8 check is something we have to be careful for because that might win black a move. If we play, for example, Rook e7 check, now the bishop gives check to the black king. Does that work? No, it doesn't, because, well, black only has one move. Interpose the rook, and then there is no checkmate on the second move. There is on the third move, for example, rook takes b7, and then a2 is the only legal move, and then queen e8 or queen g8 is checkmate. But again, that's mate in 3, not in 2. So what can we do on the first move? There's only one solution, and it is queen g6 all the way to b1. Only this leads to checkmate on the next move. But what about that check? We could give a check with black, I said, because the black king is now not in check. But rook e8 check is indeed a check, but it gets answered by checkmate. Very nice. Rook e7 blocks the check of the black rook to our white king. And now the bishop gives check to the king. And the king has no squares. It's checkmate. Very nice. It turns out that any rook move on the back rank is answered by the same rook move from white. If black plays rook d8, then rook d7 is checkmate. If black plays rook c8, then rook c7 is checkmate, and only that move. Because if you play, for example, rook h7 check, then it's not checkmate, because now this rook can interpose on c6 with a check. So that would not be checkmate on the second move. You really have to make the same move with your rook as black does. Very nice. What if you take the rook? Rook takes b7. Well, then we see why the queen went to b1. Queen takes b7 is checkmate. The last variation, what if we attack the queen with a2? Well, then we have another checkmate. And that is queen takes a2. And this is also checkmate. Hermansson, 1930. Hope you enjoyed these 3 compositions, checkmate in 2 moves. From earlier comments on earlier videos, I got the impression that many people on the Chess to Progress community enjoy these little puzzles. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and please subscribe to the Chess to Progress channel. Please leave a comment, I will read them all and I will reply to them all. You also may want to check out my Chess to Impress channel, the link is in the description box. This is Rick for Chess to Progress. Thank you for watching.